Ladies and gentlemen, on today's Business Fast Track podcast, we have the pleasure of having a local doctor that I met some years ago and have really enjoyed the opportunity to meet her, interact with her, work with her, and now she is in a position where she has her own practice. And we are just elated to have Dr. Kelsey Reed on with us today. Good afternoon, Dr. Reed.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's so awesome to have you on today. And I'm excited about what we're going to talk about and share with the public and with the community about your business, which is Elite Body Contour.
That's it.
Yes. All right, ladies. This is going to be your exclusive insight on all things elite body contouring from an entrepreneur perspective. Kelsey, for those who may not know you and do not know what you do, just kind of introduce yourself, if you don't mind, and just kind of talk to us about who is Kelsey Reed and what business do you have in the community?
I'm Dr. Kelsey Reed, Doctor of Nursing Practice and Board Certified Nurse Practitioner. Okay,
awesome. So was entrepreneurship always the path for you, or was that did that business just kind of grow out of a personal experience?
Well, before I became a nurse practitioner, I was already kind of in entrepreneurial things, doing tax and finance, etc. But yeah, as I became a nurse practitioner, yes, I did always want my own something. I didn't know that it would turn into body contouring initially, but yeah, here we are.
Here we are, yeah. Tell me, what inspired you to actually start Elite Body Contouring?
Well, when I was training to be a nurse practitioner, my preceptor actually had body contouring and weight loss inside of her practice, inside of her internal medicine practice, and that got me to see a different side of wellness. I saw how we were taking care of the physical of a person, but also their confidence and how that went together. So I really admired her, and I said, hey, I want to do that when I grow up. I want to see patients inside the office, but I also want to help them, look and feel better about themselves without pain or side effects.
That is awesome. That is a great selfless reason for going into the business of wanting to just see your community in better physical shape.
Absolutely.
And that country that rose into both mental and physical shape.
Yes.
That's awesome. So speaking of that, you have lost some weight yourself, and I just think people need to see just how well you look these days. Just let them see how well you are coming into the studio, walking around town these days.
Yeah, so I lost 40 pounds, Alan. And like I said, I am the first product of the product. Right?
There you go.
So yeah, I feel good. I look great, So I say, our light has no respect of person. If it can help one, it can help all, right? So
where did we first meet? Because I remember meeting you years ago, white lab coat. It was at a local doctor's office, and it was just a pleasure meeting you then and through that experience. Do you remember where we first met?
Yeah, we met at Dr. Crump's office.
Sure was.
It was my first nurse practitioner job.
Yeah.
So we did some marketing there with him.
That was awesome. That's exactly right. And it was great meeting Dr. Crump and his staff. I think you were fresh out of the plastic as a doctor. You were in his office as a new physician.
New nurse practitioner.
New nurse practitioner. And we were working to promote you as a new nurse practitioner at his clinic.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. So since then, you have opened up your own business, which is
Elite Body Contour.
Okay. Tell us about that business and what service do you provide?
Elite Body Contour, the service we provide is warm LED red light therapy. What that light does is it just shines over the person. It opens up the fat cells and drains out the contents in the fat cell, and the person just pee and poops it out, for lack of better words. And then that light also helps reproduce collagen. It reduces a protein called MMP that kind of takes over collagen as we age. and allows that collagen to reproduce. Also, that light helps with pain and inflammation. Anybody that has any kind of pain, inflammatory pain, that light will reduce that pain tremendously, and it does breast reductions as well.
Wow. Okay. So you have a business where is that a heat lamp? Is that hot to the touch?
So it's not a heat lamp. It's warm LED. Yeah, it's red light, but it's not unlike any other red lights that's out there. It's not
Okay.
UV. It's not laser. Not anything like that. It's
So that's not
warm
like the red
LED.
light that when we go into the convenience store and the chicken is under there
No.
staying warm.
No.
Okay.
It's red light specifically for targeted fat loss.
Okay.
It's the only red light that's FDA approved for immediate fat loss, actually.
FDA approved.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That's a big deal. So, and that means the federal government has approved this particular technique
For fat
as
loss
a
itself.
fat loss. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So, going throughout this journey, what were some of the biggest challenges or fears that you kind of dealt with starting this business?
Starting the business, my biggest fear was the business taking care of itself. But yeah, that's it. The business taking care of itself. Challenges per se. I had a lot of people, really, Alan, who had my back. I said that I was in the entrepreneur field kind of at the beginning anyway.
Okay.
And so when I said, hey, I wanted to start this business, I had my financial advisor like, hey, if you're going to do this, you need ways for people to be able to pay. You
Right.
need ways for people to be able to finance. That's what you need. And I had my tax strategist over there like, hey, you can't do your own payroll. You can't do your own bookkeeping. You can't do this all by yourself. So, I had those people in my corner, along with my parents and everybody just kind of helping me get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in that, Kelsey, that, when you are starting a business, growing a business, you need a team.
Yeah.
You need a team from, your personal or your business attorney to keep you, within the margins, of the law that way. And I've learned that there's a difference between a CPA and a tax strategist.
Amen.
They operate, they work in the same wheelhouse, but the way they operate and the way they advise you is different, the way you maneuver your business.
Yes.
And having these team members greatly contribute to your success as an entrepreneur. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, and you just, kind of mentioned how important these team members were to you at the beginning of the start of your business. So where are you now? Is it, 1 year, 2 years in? Where are you?
4. You're 4.
4 years in.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is awesome. So statistics show that most business fail within the first 2 years, and if it's a restaurant, it will fail within the first year. So you're 4 years in. You're smooth sailing.
Moving and grooving.
Moving and grooving. I love it. That is so awesome. Congratulations on that. So, what were some of the biggest lessons that you learned during your first year in business?
The bought ones.
Of course. Those are the most expensive ones, those
yeah.
bought lessons.
Bought lessons
Tell me about
are
it.
something. You spend $5,000 to $30,000 on things, systems, even people. And they fail. So, but you won't do that again. I had it reminds me of my instructor back when I was in college. He said, you're gonna take this test, and when you take the test, you ask yourself, well, how'd that work for you? Once you get your grade, so those bought lessons, I know how they worked for me. So
Yeah.
that was my biggest challenge. Yeah.
Can you give us an example of one, of a bought lesson?
Well, I just said again, I spent on one course just doing stuff probably about $10,000. Had it said it was going to help you do this and help you do that. I didn't know that $10,000 I spent was it going to be a lifetime of this content that I had.
Okay.
Within like 3 months. I hadn't even really got through it all because I was trying to do everything, whatever, and that content went away.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't have access to it no more, and I'm like, I spent $10,000.
And money spent.
Money spent.
That's one of those bought lessons that you just alluded to.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And how did that make you better, make you more experience, season as an entrepreneur?
How did
How did that lesson just kind of, because I know it had a sting to it.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
always, I use my resources and, and my tax strategists and everybody, is this something that I should really do or that I can really afford to do? And listen to their voice and lead and guide me in directions of things I need to purchase and not.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We're going to consult
Amen.
before we just sign up for a $10,000 course moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Yeah. So, your business is a lot like my business in our wedding side. Our wedding arm of our business is very personal because a couple, especially the bride, has to really have a good feel for me, have a good feel for what we're providing to them on the day of their wedding because it's intimate. It's something that's personal to them. It's not like buying a new ride more or a pair of shoes.
Right.
The person has a little bit to do with it, but I'm here for the features on that ride more. I'm here for the comfort of that shoe. Anybody can sell me that shoe, but for your business, it's niche. So how important is customer experience and trust?
Customer experience and trust is like absolutely important. It's to the utmost. I want people to be able to trust what we have and trust what we do. I want them educated and not feeling like they were gypped, for lack of better words, or feel like they just had the wrong understanding of things. We like to be very transparent in all that we do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So in that process of gaining customers and promoting your business, how do you market your business to how did you really promote your business in the beginning to attract those first clients?
Social media. I had a team of people, marketing agency that I paid. That was really good. That was a good lesson there.
Okay.
A good purchase. I had a marketing agency that I paid, and they pushed it out real good and just got to all the strangers
Okay.
and brought the people through the door.
Gotcha. And that's a lot like what we do here at Premium Productions. So if you have a business and really trying to get it out there, we will gladly create your content and create systems to really help push it out. Like Miss Kelsey Reed did, hired an agency and let the people who do this for a living really push out your message.
Yes, they help answer the phones and book the appointments, everything. Because at first it was just two of us. And I had those people in the background really pushing us. So it was great.
That is awesome. That's a great experience. So for people that may be unfamiliar with body contouring and what exactly your service is, can you educate them on what is it and how does it work?
Body contouring is really just a reshaping of the body. It's a non-invasive method to reshape the body. So that's what that is. There are a whole lot of different body contouring technologies out there, but we do, not just because I own it, have by far the best body contouring where it doesn't provide any pain or side effects down the line.
And that's a big deal. Yeah, because if someone came to your place and got the results, but it hurts,
Yeah.
or they look good in their clothes, but there's a lasting mark, on the body. That could have a lasting impression
Right.
on that person on how they feel about their experience with
Right.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have to be on top of that. And from your experience 4 years in, what kind of like testimonials are people saying about, after, experiencing the red light and going through your treatment?
We've had some amazing testimonies from people feeling great, feeling better in their clothes, feeling more confident on the beach
Yeah.
in their swimsuits. From
That's what you
people,
want.
yeah, from people losing weight to people that felt like there was nothing else that was working for them, and then they came to us and used our tools and resources, and they got that better result.
Okay. So I'm sure like other businesses that are kind of on the medical side, you have to educate people
It's
on
important.
what the actual, because you can put a word out there, but I could hear it and be like, what is that? So what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about non-invasive body contouring?
Well, number one is that a lot of people think all body contouring is the same. We kind of alluded to it earlier.
Yeah.
It hurts. They're going to rub on you and do all this stuff. But, all body contouring is not created equal.
Okay.
It works, but, there are some things, there are some differences. And then another misconception of body contouring is people think that or feel as if it can replace their habits, their eating habits, and it's a tool.
So you're saying people think that if I come to you for elite body contouring, I can just eat Snicker bars and peel couch potato and not really have to do any physical work.
Right.
That's not true, I'm sure.
That's not true
Okay.
at all. We do want the body contouring and the supplements and all the things are a tool. Just like if you went and got weight loss surgery, right? And that doctor tells you after weight loss surgery, make sure you don't do these things or you're going to re-expand your stomach, right? So we want to make sure that they still lead a healthy lifestyle, not eating, salads every day. That's not a thing, but eating foods that's best for their body. So that, because, I always tell people our light works and it's going to do its job. You're going to lose this fat. It's going down the drain. It can't come back unless you put it back.
Unless you put
Unless
it
you
back.
put it back.
I like the way you put that disclaimer at the end. Yeah, this is not a one thing that fixes all. You still have to do your part.
Absolutely.
So you're going to help eliminate what's there, but you can't control the intake and what's going back in.
Yes, my
So
thing is it's as permanent as you allow it to be.
as permanent as you allow it to be.
Yeah.
I like that. So what makes your approach or the technology that you offer different from some other options that may be out there that people may be considering?
Well, again, our red light just goes over the person and shines on that person. Most girls
Okay.
say it feels like a tanning bed, but it's really
Okay.
nice and relaxing. And it just does the work on a cellular level where we can, they can sit and listen to their favorite music, just chill, go to sleep, whatever they want to do there. And those inches, and that will come off of them that way without us having to do manual labor.
Really?
Yeah.
So you telling me, so is that a female thing or do you see male clients as well?
No, yeah, we see men and women.
Men and women,
All
okay.
shapes, sizes, all the things. So, yeah, not
Yeah.
just a girl thing. I just had a guy, we posted today. He lost 26 pounds and over 80 inches. He's happy.
Whoa, that's huge.
But, yeah, men, when they come, mostly it's the belly stuff, but sometimes, it's the chest fat, those things. So, yeah, men
man
can get
boobs.
treated too. Yes.
Okay. And you have success in reducing?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay. So that means this body contouring is for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not just, and I don't know why I was thinking that's because you hear women talking about, oh, I got to get snatched and I need to get these 20 pounds and these 10 pounds or however the deal is. You just don't hear guys that much, except for young guys like our cameraman talking about, you know what, I need to get 6 more pounds and get my six pack more defined and stuff. That's not my conversation. But with the help of elite body contouring, maybe it can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not a maybe. It
Okay.
can be.
Okay. All right. I hear you planting that seed, getting me motivated. So, speaking of being motivated, how important is confidence and self-image to overall wellness, in your opinion, Kelsey?
It goes hand in hand, as a provider, for people to be, they care about their physical health, but a lot of times when you get your physical health and that stuff under control, then your confidence, comes with it. So to be able to help a person lose that fat around these areas, get rid of visceral fat that's, targeting their liver and all these things that can cause diabetes and high blood pressure and all of those things. Those things are extremely important because when you get your confidence back, then your energy's back, then your mental health is better, and then I can focus on taking my medicine, doing whatever. You may not even be on the medicine anymore. Doing whatever you have to do for your physical.
Gotcha. So now that kind of got me curious. The most a client has lost with your red light service? What's the most one person has lost?
With our red light and supplements, I think of a gentleman who lost 80 pounds
80
with
pounds.
us. Yes. Yes.
That is almost a whole person.
It is. And we got off of his diabetes medicine,
Come
and his high
on.
blood pressure medicine, and all the things. So
He
that's
was a
one of my-
healthier human
He was.
after that.
Yeah.
Wow. We need to get Premium Productions over there to this guy and have him come here. We need
Yeah.
a testimonial.
Yeah.
Because 80 pounds,
He did.
I can imagine how better he looks.
Feels how more confident
how
he
much
is.
more confident he feels.
Yes.
He's probably killing it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure he was one that had at least a consistent workout plan, did he not?
He walked.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So he didn't
walked.
have to have a gym membership, doing anything strenuous, just consistent cardio.
Yeah, just a little walking. The first 6 weeks, he wasn't walking at all, and after 6 weeks passed, and yeah, he just walked. Even myself, when I lost 40 pounds, because I was the first product, right?
Okay.
I didn't do any exercise, and I after a little bit, then I started walking, because it's important to also when you're losing weight to help that you don't want to lose your muscle.
Okay.
As well. So yeah.
And I saw you when you came in. Girl, you rocking it.
Amen.
Curve it. Go on, do your thing, Miss Kelsey. So, your business talks a lot about like the transparency of the process and just certain guaranteed results. Why is that like important to your brand?
A lot of businesses don't guarantee results. And so we do guarantee that a person, they can walk off the street and come get under our light, and they will lose 3 inches from their waist, hips, and thighs. Again, we sell results, not little treatments, right?
Okay.
So transparency and the guarantee of the results is really important. I don't ever want somebody to come and give us their money and they feel like, well, I paid them this amount of money and they said I was going to lose this in this amount of sessions, and let's say I say you're going to lose 40 inches and you lost 36, and I'm not going to send you out the door and say, hey, we did your 6 sessions, kind of thing. We're going to keep treating them until they do, because that's important. Again, to the brand, and then for the client's trust as well.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and I think that's a big deal, and obviously you do too. Mm-hmm. So, what advice would you give someone who want these results but just struggle with the confidence and the real consistency to walk it out on their own, like with a meal plan or a gym? What would you say to that person that would want these same results but just struggle with the consistency?
Consistency really is a mindset thing, right?
Okay.
I was listening to someone a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying, I have trouble being consistent, all the things. And I'm thinking, well, you're consistent in a lot of things that you do. You're consistent when you wake up and you go brush your teeth.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because if you don't go brush your teeth, it's not going to be a good day,
it ain't
right?
gonna be a good day for everybody around you.
You're consistent when you're taking a bath, because there are consequences if you don't take a bath, right?
I think I see where you're going. Keep going.
So that's just the thing. You're consistent in some things, and it's a mindset. Why? What's the why? What's the reason you want to get to the place, and how can I get there? You get there by little small changes and consistency, right? Even if it's, one little, I told somebody the other day, well, if you got 5 things on this list that I said don't do, we'll start with 1 and start getting rid of that thing first, right?
Okay.
And then your body's you're going to start seeing these changes. You're going to be like, okay, now I can get rid of this, and now I can get rid of that. So anyway, Alan, it's a mindset shift.
A mindset shift. And I like the way you changed the perspective. What you did was talk to the person about the things that you are consistent of, right, instead of beating them up, mm-hmm, and talking about, you got to do better, this and that. You say, you know what? Let's go and just identify things that you are consistent, mm-hmm, at. Mm-hmm. Because I read something years ago about the importance of making your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you a kid, maybe, but as an adult, I'm just gonna get back in it when I get home. But what it does to your psychological, when you start your day,
Yes.
that's the first task that you completed.
I tell my patients, you got 2 roads that you can travel. You can travel this road, and you can keep eating your fried, greasy foods. You can keep, drinking those sodas and smoking and doing all of these things. And what's that going to lead you to? That's going to lead you to possibly a heart attack, stroke, diabetes, cancer, all the things. Or you can go this other way, and you can stop doing all those things little by little. And what's that lead you to? A better, longer, healthier, happier life, right? So,
Yeah.
it's a mindset.
A mindset change. Yeah,
mindset shift.
yeah. And that can be accomplished, obviously, because you're doing it, but just the way you approach it, I think, is phenomenal. It's down to earth, and it's something where you meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
It's almost like, religion. You just meet the person where they are if you want to get actual results. And I think that's awesome that that's what you're doing. What has, like, this entrepreneur journey, what has that taught you about yourself personally?
We just have to, about myself personally, we just have to keep going. I can't do things alone. I don't try to do things by myself.
Okay. Don't
Because,
even try.
by yourself, it won't work. That's the song, right?
Okay.
But yeah, never do things alone. You always need, like we said in the beginning, a team, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. But you're the leader.
Yes.
And as the leader, it's very important for you to have a certain mindset. So as the leader, how do you stay motivated during some of the more challenging seasons that you can find yourself in your business? How do you stay motivated?
I'm sorry. I'm a God girl, Alan. And God tells us to walk by faith and not by sight. So in those challenging times, those slower times when people are on vacation,
They're not coming in. They ain't spending the money.
When the holidays approaching and they're all, here and there. Again, God said, walk by faith, not by sight. And we have to make sure we push in those months where they are here,
Okay.
and have something to sustain us. In those slower months as well, and God's my center. That's it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like you budget pretty well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of how you steward your finances. And I'm a big advocate of that. Like when it's the good seasons, don't just go and upgrade your car
Right.
and do crazy stuff that you might see other people doing. You don't know their situation.
Right.
You do what's good for you. And my granddad always taught me to put something back for a rainy day.
That's right.
Because it ain't a if, it's a win.
Amen.
It's a win. Yeah. So, in your opinion, because this is a business fast track podcast, in your opinion, what separates successful entrepreneurs from people that just never have the courage to take the leap?
The leap.
The leap. Okay.
Yeah, that's what separates a lot of people. We're so in our heads, and we're like, well, I want to do this, but I'm gonna need all these things, and etc. And they get stalled in the things that they're gonna need, or the challenges they may face, instead of just, again, walking by faith, not by sight. If God told you to do a thing, then you do a thing, right? And then you trust Him to order your steps along the way. So, yeah, it's the leap.
So, and that was I call that a very interesting business question, and she answered in one word: the leap. That's what separates that successful entrepreneur from that person that's been talking about it for weeks, months, or even years. Take the leap. You won't find out what you don't know until you actually take the leap. You want to do your due diligence, of course.
Absolutely.
You want to do your homework and your research, of course, and put certain things in place so I at least, have a good, clear path. But once you venture out there, there are some things that you can't predict.
Right.
And the only way to find out is get out there and get started.
Yeah, and if a person, people are scared of failing, and if a person fails, then it's, again, like my instructor said, how'd that work for you? That don't mean drop the class. It means, change the way you just studied, change what you just did, and go a different route.
Go a different route.
But the goal is the same, right? The end goal is the same. Not create a new business.
Right. We're going to figure out what didn't work well that first time or that second time or maybe even that third time, and we're going to give it another go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do you balance running a business while still taking care of yourself mentally and physically?
My business kind of forces me to take care of myself physically, right? Because it is body contouring. So I'm the product.
Okay. Every time you step out of the door, that's advertising.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm the first product, but how do I take care of myself in that, being the leader? I have certain days that I do certain things. I'll say Mondays and Tuesdays we're doing this, Wednesdays we're doing this, we're not doing this, and those days. And then I also believe that in Jesus and therapy, right? Jesus is important. I make sure I go and get where my foundation is and get that word, and then therapy is also important, right? To take care of the mental side of me. So yeah.
So you go to therapy?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So for Elite Body Contouring, as we wrap up, what impact would you like for your business to have on the community here?
I would like for Elite Body Contouring to continue to give hope and change lives in the community.
Give hope and change lives. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from Miss Kelsey Reed. She would like for her business to continue to do what?
Give hope and change lives.
Give hope and change lives. Kelsey, I just thank you so much for just taking time out of your busy schedule to come on and just kind of speak with us, and let's have a conversation about how did you get started in your business, challenges that you've had, and just where you are now. How can people who are interested about your services, about body contouring, how can they find you, where you're located, and how can they find out more information about you?
We are located actually in 3 places in Mississippi. We're in Tupelo, South Haven, and Hattiesburg as well. So it's as simple as typing in Elite Body Contouring on your search engine, and then we'll pop up.
That's awesome. So you have 3 locations?
Yes.
Tupelo,
South Haven,
Hattiesburg. And Hattiesburg. Yes. Whoa, that is exciting. So how long have you been in South Haven?
South Haven 2 years, Hattiesburg 3.
Okay. Now, what are you seeing in that South Haven market that's different from the Tupelo market?
Sometimes it's people, but again, that's when we tweak our marketing, etc. So, yeah.
Okay. And the South Haven location, are you seeing success there?
Absolutely. They're great.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That was a quick yes.
Absolutely.
It's rolling. It's rolling in South Haven, y'all.
They're great.
That is awesome. So, okay. And you just gave how to get in touch with you. Do you prefer pop-ins, foot traffic, or do you prefer for them to call and make an appointment?
Definitely call and make an appointment because we are busy. However, again, if you type in Elite Body Contouring on your search engine, you'll get our number. If you get Tupelo only and you're somewhere in those other cities, then we can definitely get you to the other locations as well.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Kelsey, thank you again for coming on. Thank you, my sister. I am proud of you. Continue to make those changes in people's lives, and it will just only uplift and grow your business, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.